Hey guys, welcome to another Tabletop Warbands painting video. If you're looking for a way to paint Necrons like Star Wars battle droids, you have come to the right place. We have received many comments asking for this tutorial and finally here it is. I would like to remind you that from the end of September, we'll finally be able to post a video every Saturday, including 2 battle reports and 2 hobby videos per month. There will also be other news, but for now, let's focus on today's video. Before we start, if you are subscribed to the channel, welcome back! If you are not, subscribe, like and activate the bell. And now, let's get started! The base color of the model is Xandri Dust. This color is great for the result we want to achieve. I am painting a Flayed 1, but the process is the same for any model in the Necrons army. As a first step, we wash the entire model by mixing Agrax Earthshade and Lamia Medium in equal parts. This to dilute the shade and not to cover too much the underlying color. Pass the shade over the entire model and make sure the color is well spread, so as to avoid dark spots. With this step, we use the base color and give the initial depth to the model. Wait half an hour and make sure the Necron is completely dry before moving on. Once dry, the model should be like this. Finished with the shade, we begin to give some brightness to the model, and to do it, we use Ushabti Bone. For this color, we'll use the dry brush technique. Remember to use suitable or old brushes so as not to ruin the ones you usually use. Pick up some paint with the brush, then rub the brush over a tissue until most of the paint is removed. Then pass the brush over the model without pressing too hard. In this case, however, we not only highlight the edges, but we let the paint also slightly cover the underlying color. Just be careful not to cover the recesses of the model. Paint all over the Necron body, except for the weapons, like the rifle if they have it. With this step, the model will be much brighter, but we are not done yet. Now we need to highlight the edges. The next color we use is Screaming Skull, and again we'll do it with the dry brush. This time though, remove almost all the color on the tissue and pass the brush much more lightly on the model. We are going to highlight all the most exposed parts. Don't be afraid to ruin the underlying color. Make sure you have rubbed the brush on the tissue until the paint is almost completely removed and you will have no problems. After this step, we have established the main color of the Necron and already this could be fine, but with 2 passes of dry brush, we have flattened the depth of the model. To restore it, we do another round of Agrax Earthshade and Lamia Medium mixed in equal parts. But this time, use very little paint. Pass a very light glaze on the model. Make sure that the shade does not cover too much the underlying color. Pass the shade all over the Necron. This step will also serve to blend the colors a little. Let the shade dry completely and the model will be like this. Now we can finally do the last step of the main color using Screaming Skull again. Using the dry brush we pass this color all over the model, exactly as we did before. This is to bring the highlights back. Be sure to pass the paint only on the edges with little pressure with the brush. The main part of the model is finished. Now we can focus on all the details and secondary objects. If your model has weapons, such as the Necron Warrior, you can paint the central part of the weapon using Abaddon Black. Then highlight it with Phaerysian Grey. The parts you want to be metallic instead, paint them with Lead Belcher, pass Nuln-Oil as shade, and finally highlight with Runefang Steel. We'll do the glowing parts together later. If you're painting a Flayed 1 like me, you'll need Rakarth Flesh as the base skin color. Paint all the pieces of that skin the model is wearing. Be careful not to paint over the Necron body, it's not that easy to correct. I treat the skin as if it were dead. If you want the skin to be alive because it has just been taken, you can instead follow the steps I do in the Cadian tutorial in the suggested videos. To make the paleness of the skin even more noticeable, we use Pallid Witch Flesh. Dilute the color a little and paint very gently so that the underlying color can be seen, especially in the recesses. Well, the skin is almost complete. Only one last step is missing. With the shade Druchii Violet, we vary a minimum the color of the skin. Remove much of the shade from the brush and paint the skin recesses very gently. Don't be afraid to help yourself with your fingers to correct mistakes or to spread the color a little. That's it! The skin now has its dull color. It's time to do the glowing parts. The base color is Corax White, whatever color you want to make the glowing parts. It will serve as base for the glazes. Take a small pointed brush and paint with white all the parts you want to be glowing. I paint the eye sockets and the spaces between the ribs. If there are smooth cables coming out of the Necron's body, I prefer to paint those too. If your model has a weapon, also paint the tube and the round parts white, which the warrior's weapon has in this case. The result should be like this. Now comes the fun part. If you want the glowing parts to be orange, the next color to use is the glaze Bloodletter. This glaze is gorgeous, but unfortunately GW doesn't sell it anymore. So in case you don't have it, you can use Vallejo's Fluorescent Red Model Air. It has a very similar effect to what we want to achieve. Whatever color you choose, paint with the glaze all the parts we just covered in white. There is no need to be precise. If the color goes a little out of the edges, it will look like the reflection of the glow. Let it dry completely before continuing. The glow looks good, but if you use the Bloodletter, it still looks pretty red. To make it orange, we need another glaze, Lamenter's Yellow. This glaze is out of production too, damn GW. But don't worry, Vallejo once again comes to our aid. If you don't have the glaze, you can use Amarillo Yellow Game Ink. Apply this color to all the parts we just painted red. You will see that the effect that the color will create is really interesting, especially in the eyes. That's it! The model is complete. Only the base is missing. I have chosen a sandy soil to justify the color of the Necron. I used Armageddon Dunes. In case you also want your droids, Necrons, to walk among the sands, use this technical color and spread it evenly on the base. Once dry, it will have this effect. It will take some time, but make sure it is completely dry before moving on to the next step. For the highlights, we rely on the very useful Tyrant Skull. We use again the dry brush and paint this color very gently over the entire base, painting only the grains of sand. Done! We need one last step before we can define it complete, the Morphank Brown. With this color we paint the entire external part of the base. Be careful not to paint the sand as well. Once dried, make a second pass with the same color. Your Necron is complete! With this scheme you can paint the entire army and it will certainly be more interesting than the classic silver color. Use the black of the weapons to contrast with the sandy color of the body, especially in vehicles. Also, I think the orange of the glowing parts goes very well with the light color of the Necron. My Immortals have a yellow stripe on their foreheads as a reminder of the battle droid officers. It was really fun for me to find matching colors on the Necron's models. And with this we conclude. If you like our content and want to help us grow the channel, we have an account on the platform Buy Me a Coffee where you can support us with donations. Any help you can give us to improve the channel is welcome. We are counting on you. The link is in the description. And if you have come this far, write the word droids in the comments to let us know. You are the best! And if you are not yet subscribed, subscribe to the channel. If you like the video, leave a like and write us in the comments. We are always curious to know what you think. That's it guys, see you next video.